Hi guys, I hope you're well. Today's video is all about tackling those days when we don't feel like being active, we don't feel like working out. We just need that little bit of boost of motivation. To be honest, it's quite ironic because I am feeling quite low on motivation today, so even getting myself to do this video wasn't the easiest. But it's definitely something that we can all struggle with. Yeah, I just want to have a video to reference to if I'm feeling low on motivation, or yeah, you might be able to take some tips from it as well, and just to spark some curiosity really to experiment with what works for you and what doesn't. I think often we're just following what everyone says and we have to find what works for ourselves. Like there's no one rule that applies to everything. So let's start with this simple notion that motivation doesn't come first, action does. So if I'm just thinking about doing that class and just having it at the back of my mind, a couple of hours might pass until I actually get into it. But if I actually start moving towards it, literally like putting my clothes on or walking towards wherever I will be doing that activity, that motivation will follow, because as you start moving, like a little bit of dopamine starts releasing and motivation builds and keeps you engaged into the task. Yeah, rather than waiting, start moving, whatever shape or form you prefer. And not even thinking about like the full workout and thinking like, oh, what it's going to be like and how it's going to feel, but just starting and just diving into it. And I think a good way of remembering this is committing to 1 minute of movement, and the chances are that you'll keep going. This kind of nicely links into the next point, which is just starting small. And with that, you can also implement like the 5-minute rule. So let's say you just tell yourself on a day where you barely want to be active, I will just go for a 5-minute walk. And if I want to, I'll stop after that. That 5-minute walk might turn into a 10-minute or a 20-minute walk. So just starting with a small task won't make it so scary for yourself, because often our brain just wants to resist big tasks or something that might not be as easily achievable. So you can literally put on a stopwatch, aim for 5 minutes, and then see what happens. Let's move into some more energy boosting hacks and kind of just like shifting our brain into the mood of movement, because the quicker your brain recognizes a specific routine, the quicker it will be able to shift into that as well. So it might be good to experiment with different ways where you're like, oh, it's easier to get going now. So you can boost it with some high tempo music. You can gamify it, so make it into like a fun challenge of, I don't know, like every hour I'll do 500 steps, or I'll do 50 push-ups. So making it into sort of game where you can just like tick that you've done that can make it more engaging for you. Or tracking your progress, that really tends to work for me. Like I'll write down every time I've worked out and how long I did it for and what I've worked on, because it really helps me to like set mini goals. Then you can boost it with any sort of movement like dancing or stretching and just getting your body ready to move. But yeah, as I said, it's good to find something that works for you, because that way you can build like small habits that your brain recognizes and is like, oh, it's time to get into this mood. It's time to boost the motivation, boost the dopamine levels, and shift into that active workout mode. And finally, when a workout feels like impossible and you don't even want to like start, or you just don't want to go all out that day, you just want to move, low energy alternatives that are good, it's like taking that short walk, even if it's just like around your house, stretching while you're like watching something or listening to something, just doing a few exercises like squats or planks, or just put on some music and dancing a little bit. I think especially when we know we need it, but there's just no way to push ourselves, it's always good to do like a little bit of something over nothing, and you'll feel much better for it afterwards as well. I hope this was helpful. I know it's just like the very basic stuff, but I think that's the stuff that works. I'm sorry that I'm not feeling like super energetic today, but I thought this is part of it. Like, I don't think it's always good to just like present ourselves at our best, and this is the reality. Like, we all have days when we feel a little bit lower on energy or lower on motivation. So I guess I was just so in tune with the topic that I had to become the struggle of this video. So even after watching this whole video, if you're still just thinking about it, take take action right now, and I challenge you to like start putting your workout clothes on or start that timer, and comment below what you did as soon as you did it. And also something I've been trying to do a little bit more of is just thank yourself. Like, thank yourself for putting any little effort in, because often we thank everything and everyone around us, but we forget to thank ourselves. So don't forget to thank yourself, and encourage yourself by being kind like you would be to a friend or anyone else around. I will be taking this advice on board as well, and I will do a Pilates class today. I'm gonna push myself for a slightly longer session as well. So wish me luck, and I hope that you've already started moving right now. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.